here with Nate Yetzer, head wrestling coach at Ferrum College. I'm Gary Holden, assistant AD and sports information director. This is Ferrum Wrestling 411. Nate, you guys were at the Southern Virginia University Open this past weekend.
Turkey Bowl.
Turkey Bowl.
Yeah.
How did things go?
Great, great. I think a lot of our guys had breakthrough tournaments. We're finally starting to see a lot of things we're working on. We're starting to see a lot of success with it, and especially in the bottom position. And I think we're definitely heading in the right direction.
Let me go. I'm going to go through these through the weight classes where you had wrestlers. Let's start off with your lowest weight class that you had someone in. You had two wrestlers at 149 pounds.
Right. Yep.
Paul Biggs wrestled. He was 2-2. Came back and placed 4th in the tournament. Had himself a technical fall. And then you had Daniel Reynolds. He went 1-2 in the tournament. Had 1 tech fall as well. Tell me a little bit about how those two guys wrestled.
Well, 49 was by far the toughest weight class. There had a couple of Division I guys in there, and then a couple of really good kids, including ours. So.
And it was the largest weight class.
Right. Right. Yep. And. Paul, I think he started off with a nice win, and then the next match he wrestled the #1 seed, given NC State. The kid's really good. We actually looked at him a little bit when we were at Virginia Tech, and went out there and took him down right away and started riding him a little bit. And, it was a close match up to the end, and then he got cement mixed, and the old Pennsylvania cement mixer, and got pinned. And that's something he's got to feel coming a little bit, and with more experience he will. But he was right in the match. He had the kid tired. And, the kid kept coming after him. That's something we preach to our guys: is just stay aggressive, stay offensive, and good things happen when you keep attacking. Right. Even if you're down by a bunch, you can make a couple mistakes. You keep on the guy, good things happen. So
he came back later on, won another match, and then got into the consolation finals and dropped a real tight 3-2 match there.
Yep. Well, in the match you won to get in for 3rd or 4th was against another Division I kid, really good kid. And I actually really liked the kid. I saw that he hasn't committed anywhere, and he's leaving Division I school, and so I talked to him, and lo and behold, Paul had to wrestle next match. I didn't know that, and Paul was down 11-3 or something really early, or 10-3 I think, and chipped away at it, kept chipping away at it, came back and ended up beating the kid, like 13-11 or something, and did a great job, just staying on the kid, and even I think he knew the kid was getting tired, and just stayed on him, and came away with the victory, and then 3rd and 4th, he wrestled like 5 or 10 minutes later, and I think that had a little to do with him getting tired in that match. But the kid, out wrestled him a little bit, and then he got to his leg and scored at the end. And and Paul was exhausted afterwards. But that kid wrestled 5 minutes earlier too. So
sure.
Yep. And then Daniel Reynolds. Daniel Reynolds is a slow starter. Him and Cody both are very slow starters, and partly has to do with, I think, they don't do a really good job with their weight during the week, and we're addressing that. And a lot of it's on them, but I think if they want to have success, they're going to have to do a better job with their weight. But Daniel did a good job. He won his first one, I think, and then
tech fall his first match.
Yep, looked good, and then he dropped his next 2, and one was relatively close, the other one wasn't so close. So, but I think Daniel's getting better. Just technical mistakes are killing him and Cody, and we're trying to address those, one by one. So.
Okay. Next weight class was Cody Cooper, your 157-pounder. And Cody lost his first match, came back, and won 2 more matches, both by pin, and placed 3rd place for you.
Yep. Cody did a good job. I mean, the first match, he did a good job. He got in deep right away, and Cody fought it off. And then Cody got in deep, and it was a wild scramble, and the kid ended up getting on top, and then slapped the cradle and pinned him. And it's just this. He's got to learn how to continue wrestling through positions, and I think when something doesn't go his way, sometimes he kind of panics a little bit. And it cost him, and he did a good job coming back through, and I think he had 2 falls, off his last 2 matches, and one of those matches he was losing, he came back and pinned the kid. So Cody did a good job, finished strong, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So
okay, good. Next weight class you had Ryan Mueller.
Yep.
Ryan, this is a new weight class,
right.
Man. He's been wrestling 74.
Right.
He's now down to what he feels is his weight class. And he won his first 2 matches, including having a pin in the semifinals over, looked like the #2 seed.
Right.
No, actually looked like the #7 seed, who also pinned the #2 seed. So
right.
he got himself a couple of nice wins there. Got into the finals. Looks like he was a little bit outclassed there, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. And it was a little bit closer than the score. He tried some stuff at the end to try to catch up and take him down. But the kid was a little better than him. Ryan's still trying to figure out what he's good at, and he's been in the military for 4 years. So he hasn't really stepped foot on the mat in 4 years.
U.S. Navy, is that right?
Yep. He's been in a sub.
Probably don't have too many mats on subs.
I wouldn't think so. So, but he did And he did a great job. I was against him going down to 65 from 74, and but he proved me wrong. He cut a lot of weight to get down there. But the one thing about Ryan is he does everything right. So I'm not really about Ryan. Ryan's gonna be fine. It's gonna take a little while. It's gonna take probably a year and a half for him to get fully back to where he can be competitive at every tournament. But I think he's heading in the right direction. He's gonna be, like I said, he does everything right. He's a great leader. Maybe not a vocal leader, but he's a great example. So
leads by example, and having a guy like that around, he's a freshman, but he's a very non-traditional freshman.
Yeah,
a lot of schools would love to have a freshman with that type of maturity and leadership and everything.
Double major, double minor. He's an RA, and he shows up twice a day. So what more can you ask for?
Yeah. Okay, next weight class that we had somebody in was the 197-pound weight class, Darius McCray. He was the top seed in the tournament, scored a pin in the semifinals, and then had a 6-0 win in the finals. Was that a pretty close match there, or?
Not really. It wasn't really close. Darius was way better than everybody in that weight class, and but even though you're better, you still got to go out and execute. That's exactly what he did, and especially in the finals. It was 7-0, and I'm a real big believer in winning in all three positions, and that's exactly what he did. He got away, he rode the kid out, and he took him down twice, and so that's huge. And when you can pitch a shutout like that's huge. So he did a great job, even though he's better than everybody else. He still got to go out and prove it, and he did. So
real exciting to see someone get a win in a tournament as well.
Absolutely, and I told him to enjoy it. It's college tournaments. They're not. I don't care what tournament you go to. They're not easy to win.
Right.
Everybody there wants to win. So I told him to enjoy it a little bit, and just to smile a little bit. He was all serious. I'm like, hey, man, enjoy it, because not every day you get to. Who knows what tomorrow brings? So.
Well, it sounds like you might have had the same advice for the next weight class, 235 pounds. You had DeAndre Johnson. He went into the tournament as the number 3 seed, secured a pin over the number 2 seed from Tennessee Temple, and then he secured a pin over a wrestler from East Tennessee State's club program. So 2 pins, 2 for 2 in the tournament. How did he wrestle?
I was proud of DeAndre. He did a great job as far as both the matches he was losing, I believe, and he came back and he just stayed on the kid, and he didn't wrestle outside himself. He did what he was good at, and executed, and got 2 falls. So what more can you ask for? And I think he was in a weight class too where, in club wrestling, there's a lot of club teams there, so they had an extra weight class, 235. And, that was more. He weighs 210, so it's more suited toward him. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to get bigger next year and to be able to compete at the heavyweight weight class. So, but he did a great job. I was very proud of him.
Now, what about a wrestler like him that goes up to a heavyweight weight class? He's 210, but he's pretty quick, very strong. Will he be able to compete at that next weight class up, where the wrestlers can be all the way up to 285 pounds?
I think so. But it's going to take a commitment from him as far as getting bigger. And a lot of people, they whine about cutting weight and this and that. In my, I was the type of guy that had to gain weight to wrestle my weight class in college, and I can tell you that's pretty hard to do too. Sometimes you're working out twice a day, you burn a lot of calories. You get to the point where you get sick of eating, to be honest with you. And he's got to make a commitment to lifting weights all summer long, and fueling his body and with good stuff. So I don't want him to become all sloppy and fat, and I want him to become to keep his speed and keep his strength. And but I do definitely think he can compete there. Do I wish he was 6 inches taller? Yeah, of course, but.
Everybody'd love to have a 6'7" heavyweight, huh?
Yep.
All right, going up to the heavyweight weight class, Trevor Stats. He was the number 2 seed for you. He got into the semifinals, lost a tight match to the number 3 seed, 3-1, and then came back, and it looks like he got a default for the 3rd place match.
Right, yep. Trevor did a good job. He had an exhibition match too, wrestling exhibition match, and got a fall, so which is first win of the year for him.
Okay.
He just Trevor just needs more. He needs more stuff on his feet. He just doesn't have enough offensive moves. He relies on his size a little too much. And at this level, you got to be able to go out and not back into wins, and actually go out and take it from him.
Right.
There's very few guys who are gonna just roll over for you because you're bigger than them or stronger than them. Most guys are gonna fight you for 7 minutes. So.
Yeah. College division seems like the intensity is just ramped way up there. Everyone's wrestling in the first period like they're down 3-0 with 10 seconds to go in the match, and they're just getting after you. And
the good guys, especially, And I tell these guys, sometimes, you got to stay on guys. Sometimes it takes 6 minutes to break somebody. Sometimes it takes 6 minutes 50 seconds to break somebody. You never know when they're going to break. That's why it's important just to stay offensive, even if you're down by 3 or 4 at the end. Just keep on them. So.
Great. Well, Nate, thanks for coming and doing the interview with us here. Washington League Invitational is next, January 12th, right after Christmas break and everything. What will happen in between then? The guys will have a few weeks off. You'll be out on the road. You'll spend some time with your family for Christmas, and then doing some recruiting.
I'm giving the guys quite a bit of time off here. Just to, being a freshman's hard, and a lot of these guys are homesick, and their bodies are kind of beat up. They're tired, so I'm going to give them a little bit of time off to kind of go and train themselves at home. And a lot of times that has mixed results. Guys get a little lazy. They get a little overweight. But I'm gonna trust them, and because I have to have the ability to go out and recruit some, and so these guys have somebody to compete with next year, and to help fill the roster out as well. So these guys are gonna go train at their high schools and at home, and obviously I'm gonna have some of them that live relatively close come up a couple days during break and train here a little bit. So. Sure. But I believe the core group of guys they have, the 5 or 6 guys who are serious about it, they're going to do a good job. I'm not too worried about them. But as a team, we need to make sure we stay on it and not get complacent, and take this tournament with a grain of salt. I tell our guys when we have a bad tournament, you got to be even keel. You can't get too down on yourself. When you have a great tournament, you can't get too high on yourself. You got to be even keel, and keep in mind what the objective is at the end of the year. So. Sure,
you want to avoid those highs and lows.
Absolutely, yeah. They can be draining. They can be draining, and if you get too high, too low on yourself. So, so we come back January 12th. Actually we come back January 3rd, I believe, to start training again for the Washington League tournament.
What type of tournament will that be for you?
It's gonna be tough in the tournament we were just at, I think. But there's gonna be it's an open tournament, so you never know what you're gonna get there. It's gonna be a great mix. So I think it's Division I guys, Division II guys, Division III guys, and probably some guys that are junior college kids, and so I think it's gonna be a great competition. Probably a little bit bigger tournament than we just wrestled at.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see our guys come back, and hopefully they'll be re-energized and they come back and excited to get back in it. So it should be a first semester was a great semester. I think we learned a lot. I learned a lot, to be honest with you, and I think we're definitely heading in the right direction. We just need to get some more guys in there, and that's the goal here this winter is to go out there and do a lot of recruiting. So
good. Well, we'll talk with you after the first of the year. Maybe we'll have another quick 4-1-1 prior to going to your tournament, and then we'll talk with you again after the Washington League tournament.
Absolutely, and if anybody's interested in looking for a last-minute Christmas gift, you feel free to contact me or go to PantherWrestlingCamps.com. We got a camp store on there, and we got Ferrum Wrestling stuff and for sale if anybody's interested. So
good.
I'm sure Gary's going to be visiting there.
So well. Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Appreciate it.